Mr. Mteto, can you tell this court?
Matebula.
Oh, sorry, my lord, Mr. Matebula. What do you know, or what is the purpose and intention of securing the crime scene?
Inawaziyo ukuthi yini injongo iminhloso yokusecure i-crime scene.
Exhibits in the information.
Kuthini?
Thola ama exhibits singathola ama
Okay,
exhibits.
it's to get information as well as the exhibits.
Is to get information as well as exhibits?
Information exhibits.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. That's what you understand.
ilogo understandayo.
Okay. By the term to secure the crime scene, do you understand anything? What does that mean?
The term lena yona ethi ukusecure i-crime scene. Ukukhona understandayo ngayo. Yes.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Isho ukuthini?
To a police officer. I'm speaking to you as a police officer.
Umuntu oyiphoyisa ngikhuluma nawe njengephoyisa.
Ukuvala isini khombisa ukuthi ukuvala isini ufaka ukuvala isini nge-tape bese uyagada isini.
It is to cordon off the scene with the tape and then you guard the scene.
Okay. You testified that you entered the house and you searched. You couldn't find any exhibits. Is that what you said?
Ushilo ukuthi nangena anatholanga exhibits.
Yebo.
Yes.
Did you guard the crime scene after that?
Emva kwalokho nayigada yini i-crime scene? No,
And the reason
because I didn't find anything. Isn't it that we didn't get anything?
Okay. To you, what do you understand by the crime scene? Is it a crime scene because we have seen certain exhibits, or it's a crime scene because the offense had been committed in that crime, in that area?
Makhulunywa nge-crime scene, kukhulunywa nge-crime scene ngoba kunento isehlakalo esenzakele khona lapho noma i-crime scene ngoba kunezinto oyibonayo noma ezitholakele khona lapho. The incident,
Irrespective of whether you see or we are able to point out any exhibits, it's a crime scene.
no ngapha noma ke ukuthi ke uyakhomba noma khona izinto okwazi uyikhomba ezitholakalayo ukuthi i-crime scene.
I think isitholile nazi ngiyazibona akekho umuntu ongangitshela ngazi ukuthi nazi lo it's a crime scene.
But if I find exhibits and I can see here they are and there's no one that can tell me anything, but yes, it is a crime scene.
Like a cartridge or a bullet.
Like cartridges and bullets.
Okay. What do you understand? What are you referring to as exhibits?
Uma ukhuluma ngama exhibits ukhuluma ngani?
Because we have mentioned the head, we have mentioned the crash that you identified inside the house. You also mentioned the cans.
Ukhulumile ngesigqoko, ukhulumile ngecrash, ukhulumile ngama-can.
Do you identify them as exhibits or non-exhibits?
Kuwena lokho bekungama exhibits noma cha?
Kube ama exhibit mase sibuya noma amasho ukuthi lezi ezani izinto.
They became exhibits when we came back with the lady and she told us as to what those items were.
Oh, okay. But firstly, when you came, when you saw those items, you didn't think it formed part of the exhibits?
Kodwa uma nifika ukuqala nizibona bekungasiwona ama exhibits.
Cabanga ukuthi into bezabo maybe zaba lapha endlini labo Kelly nabo bani.
We were under the impression that those items belonged to them, the people that were in the house, Kelly and the others.
Oh, okay. So according to your knowledge, what is it that forms part of the exhibits? It's only the empty cartridges?
Kuwena ke lokho okuba yingxenye yama exhibits, ama cartridge are empty.
We projectile lapha nesigqoko.
There, it was the projectile as well as the head.
Okay. There was a projectile that you saw?
Kuna projectile enayibona?
Yeah, we must we record.
Yes, when we came back for the second time.
Oh, okay. And you also testified that you looked for the cartridges. Did I hear you correctly?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes. And you didn't find anything?
We didn't find it.
Okay. And that projectile that you saw for the first time, where did it come from?
Manje le projectile benibona okokuqala ke ibibuya kuphi?
Sorry, when you came back from hospital.
Uma senibuya esibhedlela.
Shuthi ulona it's like shuthi le projectile ile angithi umama akho ungalusitshela ukuthi uyaba ne shooting. Siyasa check ama-checker siyasathola that projectile.
The Kumalo lady informed us that there was a shooting, and then upon our checking, we then came across that projectile.
So it means that the first time when you inspected the crime scene, you failed to take a proper look. That is why you couldn't see that projectile for the first time.
Okusho ukuthi uma nibheka okokuqala ukuthi anibhekisisanga kahle ingakho ningayibonanga leya projectile.
Sibonanga okokuqala.
We didn't see it the first time.
Okay. I just missed the introduction of your duties. You were attached to the crime prevention unit. Am I correct?
Yebo.
Yebo.
Okay.
Yes.
And what are the duties of a crime prevention police officer?
Umsebenzi ke wephoyisa crime prevention yini?
Prevent the crime.
It's to prevent crime.
Okay. And then now you are at the scene. You had been told, or you have been informed that there has been a shooting incident. Did you prevent any crime from further happening at the crime scene?
Manje ke nilaphayana ke nitsheliwe ke ukuthi ke kunalesi sehlakalo esenzekile ingaba na preventa yini ukuthi kube nesinye sehlakalo esenzekayo.
Sorry my lord, to be specific, at the first time when you arrived at the scene.
Uma nifika kokuqala laphayana.
Ngicela ungiphindele yona mama.
Can you repeat the question?
Okay. You said one of your duties as a crime prevention officer is to prevent crime from happening.
Uthi ke upreventa icrime umsebenzi wenu. Yes.
Then my question is, when you arrived at the scene for the first time, did you prevent the crime from happening?
Uma nifika ke lapha ingaba na preventa yini crime ukuthi ingenzeki.
Seyenzekile.
It had already happened.
Yes. Did you prevent the crime from further happening?
Ukuthi phinde futhi yenzeke na preventa yini? No.
Okay. Now, when you arrive at the crime scene, the first officer to arrive at the crime scene, what do you do before the arrival of the other officers at the crime scene?
Nanjengephoyisa lokuqala ke ukufika ku crime scene yini oyenzayo ngaphambi kokuthi kufika amanye ama-officer?
Check IC, check uqeda ukuchecka bese uthola information, uqeda ukuthola information if positive ukondona isini.
You check for information and then upon you check and then gather information, and then upon gathering that information, if it is positive, you then cordon off the scene.
Yeah, did you do that when you
Nakwenza.
arrived at the crime scene?
Nakwenza lokho? No.
Okay. One more question. You further testified that it was upside down inside the house when you arrived, as if there had been a party. Do you remember that?
Ushilo ukuthi kwaku mixed nje lapha ngongathi kwakune party.
Ngibona ngezitsha ekitchen nje.
Yes, by seeing the dishes in the kitchen.
Yeah. So the dishes showed that there had been a party.
Nalama can lawa 2-3.
As well as those 2-3 cans.
Oh, okay. Then that told you that, informed you that there had been a party because of the 2 cans.
Lawa makheni ke lawa bese sithi kwakune party. That's how I thought.
What was your years of experience at the time of the incident?
It was 6.
6 years. A constable, trainee constable or a qualified constable?
Oh, constable noma say trainee.
Qualified.
Qualified.
Okay. At the time when you decided to go to the hospital, why didn't you separate amongst the 4 colleagues of you who attended the crime scene and leave others at the scene to secure the crime scene?
Uma nihamba nesibhedlela nanjengoba nani u4 njena wena nomthethwa nalama students awu2 kwathi ninike ningahlukanisani abanye basale la abanye bahambe baye esibhedlela.
Now we were sesama-student.
They were still students.
Okay, and then amongst yourselves?
Nina nobabili.
Sama-constable.
We were constables.
Yes, amongst yourself, I mean, why didn't you separate between you and Constable Mthetho?
Ngibuza ukuthi kwakuthini kwakungani ukuthi ningahlukanisani-ke wena-ke naye uconstable Mthetho.
Hayi, ayizange ifike lapho.
That never came to us.
Oh, okay. And you further testified that when you came back from the hospital, Makhumalo was the one you were busy with inside the kitchen.
Utshilo nokuthi uma nibuya esibhedlela uMakhumalo uyena-ke nanibhizi naye ekitchen.
Yep.
Yes.
Where were the other family members? Zandile, Khumalo, and Kelly Khumalo at that time?
Abanye laba-ke befamily uZandile, uKelly babekuphi?
Ngisathatha umama esibhedlela sezabuya futhi wasele esibhedlela.
The only person we took from the hospital was the mother, which means that they remained behind at the hospital.
Okay. Other than the four of you who were inside the kitchen, were there any other people inside the house?
Ngaphandle kwenu-ke ababephakathi lapho bakhona abanye ababephakathi endlini.
Captain Zwane.
Captain Zwane,
Yeah, other than you who were at the kitchen.
ngaphandle kwenu-ke ababesekitchen. No.
Oh, okay. Ms. Ntabisengi Mukete also testified that she was inside the house and she even came into the kitchen where you were conducting the investigation. Did you see her?
Ntabiseng uthi-ke wayesendlini-ke naye waze wazofika-ke nasekitchen la enanibhizi khona. Wambona?
Hayi, ngikhumbula.
I don't even remember her.
And she even testified that she is the one who informed you about the projectile that was lying on the floor.
Nokuthi uyena owanikhombisa leya projectile eleli phansi. No.
Okay. How was the visibility inside the kitchen where you were conducting the investigation?
La enanibhizi khona ekitchen kwakukanjani-ke ngokubonakala noma-ke ukukhanya?
Light nje kahle.
It was like this. There was light.
Oh, okay. And it is your evidence that you conducted search even on top of the cupboards. Is that correct?
Uyasho futhi ukuthi nangaphezulu kwekhabethe leya nasesha futhi.
Yebo sasesha.
Yes, we did.
And if there was any exhibits there on top of the cupboard, who would have seen it?
Uma kuwukuthi kwakunayo exhibit eyayikhona lapha nanizoyibona.
Hey, lapha ngeke ngithi bengizoyibona kanjani but asibonanga sitholanga next.
I wouldn't say that we would have, but we didn't see or find anything.
And you further testify that Makhumalo. Okay, sorry, my lord, can I just rephrase? Did you say Makhumalo picked up the hat or she pointed out the hat?
uMakhumalo isigqoko leso wasithatha noma wasikhomba nje wathi nasi isigqoko.
Wasithatha wathi besigqoka sathi ayi sibeke phansi besigqoka suspect.
She picked it up and said it was worn by the suspect, and then we said no, put it down.
Okay. Did you record that hat had been touched by Makhumalo?
Nakubhala phansi ukuthi uMakhumalo wasibamba leso sigqoko leso. No, we didn't.
Did you inform
Sorry?
Mr. Mus?
Sisimention kuphela sangisisho ukuthi wasibamba.
We mentioned it only, but we never said that she touched it.
You mentioned to who?
Mention akubani?
Usho statement.
I'm referring to the statement.
You mentioned that Makhumalo touched the hat.
No.
Yeah.
Just mention isigqoko kuphela.
Only mentioned the head.
Did you understand my question?
Uzwile yini umbuzo wami?
I said, did you record that in your statement that Makhumalo had touched the hat?
Lokho ukuthi wasibamba nakubhala yini ku statement? No.
Why not? Because it amounted to the tampering with the exhibits. Why you didn't record such crucial information in the statement?
Kwangani-ke ningayibhali ngoba ke manje sekusho ukuthi manje khona okukwenzekile ke ku exhibit noma ke ku tempera ne exhibit. Kwangani ke ningayibhali nisho ukuthi usibambile? That we didn't think about that.
Oh, you also didn't think. But were you in your sound and sober senses when you attended the crime scene?
Ngalesikhathi niyake ku crime scene noma uya ke ku crime scene wawuse kuma senses akho ngokuphelele? Yes.
Oh, okay. Furthermore, you testify, or did you inform Mr. Mosia when he arrived that the hat had been touched by Ms. Makhumalo?
Uma efika umsiya wamtshela yini ukuthi uMakhumalo wasibamba lesigqoko?
Ngisakhumbule.
I can't remember well there.
Oh, okay. So he was so it means Constable Musia was also misinformed by the members who attended the crime scene first.
Just
Kwakusho ukuthi ke umsiya ke akazange atshelwe ke iqiniso ke ilaba abafika kuqala ku scene.
just nje sesamtshela ukuthi uma ukhumala uthi lesigcobo sibanjwa malona esithiwa ama-suspect.
We only informed him that Makumalo conveyed to us that this hat was worn by the suspect.
Yeah, that's not my question. Just be specific to my question.
Aswona ke umbuzo wami cela nje uphendule umbuzo wami.
Ngicela uphinde.
Can you repeat it?
So it means Mr. Bosia was misinformed because he was never told of it.
You can't say he was misinformed. He was not informed.
He was not informed. Thank you,
Yeah.
my Lord.
Misinformed means they told Musia something else.
As the court pleases.
No, I didn't tell
As the
him.
court pleases, my Lord. Sorry?
No, I didn't. We didn't inform him.
Okay. And you said after checking on top of the cupboards, then the other members of the task team arrived.
Uthi ke
Did I hear
sabheka ke
correctly?
khona lapho kwase kufika ke abe task team. Yes.
How many members?
Babe bangaki
If you can still recall.
uma usakhumbula.
It was more than 2.
More than 2. Babe ngaphezu ko 2.
Oh, okay. And they all entered inside the kitchen.
Bangena phakathi ekitchen bonke.
Yeah, bangena phakathi.
Yes, they came in.
And the 4 of you who were already inside the kitchen.
Kanye nani futhi abawu4 ababesebe phakathi ekitchen.
Yebo.
Yes.
So it means in total, how many members now were you inside the kitchen?
Naniseni bangaki ke manje abamember aye phakathi ekitchen.
Sakhumbula ukuthi bayingaki bona.
I can't remember as to how many they were.
But there were many people inside the kitchen.
Kodwa ekitchen kwakunabantu abaningi.
Awuthi iningi ngizothi iningi. If bengine number just ngisakhumbula inumber ukuthi bayingaki.
Not to say many, it's just that I can't remember their number so as to be exact.
Yeah, but you can't deny that there were many people because you can't recall the number.
Kodwa ke awungeke ukuphikiseke ukuthi babe baningi abantu abasekitchen ngoba awubakhumbuli bona ukuthi babe bangaki.
Ngikhumbula kahle, it's not like we were baningi, it's like baningi.
But if I remember well, it's not to say that they were many.
Yes, I also want to be specific. Are you also including Constable Musia?
Naye umsiya uyamfaka kuleyo number leyo.
Yebo.
Yes.
Okay. And at the time when you left all those people inside the kitchen.
Uma seniphuma ke nina ke nabashiya labo bantu labo ekitchen.
The kitchen la phakathi kwekitchen elona ne-dining room lapho.
It's not specifically
kitchen maybe indawo.
Not specifically in the kitchen. The kitchen is small. Between the kitchen and the dining room, the witness points here. Say the kitchen is this size.
Okay. So what's your answer then?
Basithole la besime khona besime la ngase in between the kitchen elona ne-dining room.
They found us where we were standing between the kitchen and the dining room,
Not the kitchen specific.
not specifically in the kitchen.
Do I understand correctly that those were senior members of the SAPS?
They are senior members, bona.
Yebo.
Yes.
And when they arrived at the crime scene, they would have expected, they would get a report from you who have arrived first at the crime scene.
Ukuthi ke uma befika bona babezothola umbiko kunina abafika kuqala ku crime scene
Bazothola ku Captain Zwane.
from Captain Zwane.
Ah, okay. So you were not the one who gave them the report about the crime scene?
No.
Thank you, my Lord. I've got no further questions.
Thanks. Mr. Baloyi, any read?
Oh, I'm sorry, my Lord. Just one. I'm sorry, my Lord. My apologies. Did you testified that you spoke to Makumalo when you were from the hospital
Yebo.
to the house? Is that correct?
Yes.
And also inside the house, you also spoke to Makumalo?
Nasendlini futhi nakhuluma naye.
La bese sibonisa khona ukuthi yenzekile.
That's where she was pointing out to us that it happened here.
Oh, okay. Did Makumalo at any stage tell you that there was a cell phone robbed during
No.
the incident?
Ingaba khona la anitshela khona uMakhumalo ukuthi kune cell phone eyarojwa kuleso sigameko leso?
yebo eyi-one
Yes, one.
What did she say?
Wathini?
athi bathathe i-cellphone yakheli if I'm not mistaken yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, she said Kelly's phone was taken, or they took Kelly's phone.
From where?
Bayithatha kuphi?
Ish, ngisakhumbula ukuthi
I can't remember where.
Oh, okay. Did you record that information in your statement?
Akubhala phansi lokho statements up? No.
Oh, okay. Did you also convey that message to the other police officers that the cell phone was robbed as well?
Was yes.
Thank you, my lord. I've got no further question.
Yes, Mr. Malloy.
As a complice, just one or two aspects. In cross-examination by all counsel, you mentioned that you conducted a search there in the kitchen where or in the vicinity of the cupboards. Can you just explain perhaps what type of search did you conduct?
Uma ubuza uyibona bonke ke abameli ushilo ukuthi nasesha ke lapho ekitchen la kune cupboard ekhona. Uma ungachaza nje ukuthi the search ukhuluma ngayo search kanjani?
afike useshe nje ukubheke around check nje ukuthi khona into ongayithola.
You get there, you round the place, you check as to whether there's something that you'll be able to find.
Sorry, can you just explain in clearer terms?
Uma ungachaza nje ngendlela ke ezwakalayo.
Ukusesha usilapha ukubheka ukubheka ungene ubheke useshe ucheck ukuthi khona into ongayithola if ayikho if uyayithola uyayifaka that something ekukhombisa ukuthi uthole something.
As the witness indicated, you look around, you just check and you look around whether there'll be something that you can find or you can see. And if there is something, you then put something just to indicate.
Now, counsel for accused number 5, Advocate Mshololo, asks you what you do as first officer on the scene before the arrival of other police officers. You indicated that you check, you gather information, and if it's positive, you cordon the crime scene.
Akubuzile ke Advocate Mshololo ukuthi yini oyenzayo njengepholisa lokuqala elifikayo wathi wena uyabheka ke uthole information uma kuukuthi positive leyo information ubese uyacoordina office. Yes.
And can you just indicate at what point did it occur to you that this was a crime scene?
Manje kuzofika nini ke kuwena ke ukuthi manje le sekuyi crime scene?
Klika kahle klike mase ngibona usenza bheke phezulu la ukuthi yo alephele scene.
It really clicked when I saw Senzo facing upwards that hey, this was indeed a scene.
Thank you, my lord. That is all.
Thanks. Just tell me for my information, were you ever told that there were other projectiles or cartridges or casings which were found on the scene after you and your colleague had
No, my lord.
searched, as you say?
The witness says no, my lord.
You were never told about that?
Yes.
I believe that you searched. Did you have an idea that a bullet can ricochet
Ingabe
from a hard
wawunolwazi?
surface?
Ngabe unolwazi yini ukuthi ibullet yakwazi uricochet? Yes.
Did you check for that?
Nakubheka lokho.
Sabheka last thole ngathi masathola la iminyango ukuthi unala damage ke khona.
We did, my lord, and then that's when you saw then that the door was damaged.
Did you check the ceiling
Ceiling
or
naibheka.
any holes of ricocheting bullets, for instance?
Sacheck.
We did.
That's good. And?
Azange sithole.
We didn't find any.
Okay, thanks. Okay, thank you, sir.
Just one, my lord, arising from the court's question. Thank you, my lord. You said you checked the holes. Am I correct? Did I hear you correct?
My holes nawabheka.
Yebo.
Yes.
That hole, the one at the door. You see that one?
Yebo.
Maybe my lord, can the witness be assisted? Yeah. Thank you. It's in photo number 15, my lord.
This one.
Yeah. Did you check in that hole if there was any exhibit?
Nabheka lapho ukuthi kune exhibit ekhona.
Sabheka.
We checked.
Okay. Can you describe the hole? What type of the hole was it?
Uma ungachaza ke leyabo ukuthi yenjani.
If you still remember.
Uma kuukuthi usakhumbula.
Hlepukile nje uthini vele.
It's damaged.
Damaged.
Okay.
Hlepukile.
And then you sure that inside you couldn't see anything?
Phakathi zange ngibone lutho. No.
Thank you, my lord. Very good. I have no further questions.
Thank you. Yes, thanks, sir.
Qedile. Thanks.
Please, may we take the long adjournment at